close to doors that open around
You are where you are meant.
When you are given that kind of gift, you're meant to share it.
Darating din yung time para sa
Never compare your success with
The
others.
future presents itself in different
Because
faces.
clarity only comes forth once you're still.
You are a unique human being. You will bloom when you're supposed to.
What do you stand for? Anong paninindigan mo sa buhay?
Welcome to Lessons from the Legends. So this is the question that I ask all the legends. Wow. Is that what is your advice to everyone watching or listening on how to figure out the path they are meant to take in their life?
Number one, you need to listen to your heart. And when I say your heart, I don't mean you just listen to what you want. No. There is such a thing as you're listening to your heart, your whole being, an honest assessment of what gifts you have. You'll know it. You'll know it. In one person, I've always said, you can be a singer, a dancer, an artist. Maybe you draw well, you're a good cook. But we don't know the future. And I get manifesting is what Oprah calls visualization. The word manifested wasn't uso nung panahon ni Oprah. But in her DVD, Oprah said, I knew that the universe had this plan for me. And she didn't doubt it. Okay, let's change the word the universe had this plan for me. I didn't doubt it. I'll reverse it to I have faith in God's plans for me. I didn't doubt it. It could sound the same thing, no? I mean, of course, for me, it's I believe in God's plans for me. Number one, how would you find the path? Be open. Don't close your mind into one train of thought. I want to be this. Yes, it's important to have that. Try it out. If it fails, try again. Keep trying, keep trying. But don't be close to doors that open around you that may be telling you, give it a shot. Give it a shot. You may be so shocked that you are meant to be somebody else you did not plan. And sometimes God's plans are better than ours. Most of the time it is.
Ako, I always tell this to my daughters, na you are where you are meant to be. When we are much younger kasi we always wonder, di ba, where should I be? Pero para sa akin kasi, yun nga you are where you are meant to be. Gusto sabihin na kung asan tayo ngayon, ito yung nakatakda talaga for us. Kaya kailangan natin pagbutihin. Parang the grass is not greener on the other side of the fence. Parang the grass will be greener where you are. Depende sa'yo. You have to be the best that you can be today. Kasi in the future, when you look back, parang all the dots connected. Kaya ngayon, sa akin, ang dami kong ibang ginawa. I was with PAW, I taught, I was with a development agency, pero all the dots connected Ang gusto kong sabihin, those dots where I was in the past, that was where I was meant to be at that particular time. So yun siguro yung pinaka-final message ko to the young people listening to us, na because this is where you are really supposed to be, make the most out of it.
Sa akin naman, keep on trying. Keep on, alam mo yun, searching. Always ask for guidance kay God. Kailangan yun May mga time na parang kine-question nyo na si God na ito ba yung para sa amin. Kailangan mo lang i-discern kung ano yung nasa puso mo, kung ito talagang gusto mo. And tiwala sa sarili, darating din yung time para sa'yo.
Find what they're passionate about. Kasi parang feeling ko it starts there. Lahat tayo naman nangangarap na sana ganito yung maging sikat akong artista or maging milyonaryo ako or whatever that is. But you need to find your passion, yung something that you're passionate about. Kasi dun lalabas lahat ng creativity mo. You'll work really, really hard because you're so passionate about it. And you will fail at one point kasi ganun talaga yun But you learn to stand up and do it again. Parang feeling ko pagka passionate ka sa isang bagay, like ako, I'm so passionate with my music, na kahit ano pang mangyari, babangon ako at kakanta pa rin ako. Parang kung ano man ang condition ng boses ko, kung ano man ang kondisyon ko. Kasi gusto kong kumanta. I love singing. So, yan ang passion ko. I'm very blessed, such an early age. I knew what I wanted to do with my life. I was given this incredible talent. Pinahiram sa akin ni God yung talent na to, and I'm not gonna waste it. And when you are given that kind of gift, you're meant to share it. Plus, napagkakitaan ko why not?
Well, iba-iba kasi ang tao, no? There are people who already know what they want in life, but not necessarily rin naman na tama yung gusto nila. Sometimes when they get there, they realize, oh, hindi pala ito. And that's all right. And I remember also during my high school days, pag tinatanong talaga ako, ano ang gusto kong maging, ang sagot ko, housewife and a mother to my kids. Yan lang talaga ang nag-iisang gusto ko. Na if not for the pandemia, I would never have reached. But malaki rin ang kinalaman kasi dun sa, ano ba ang success sa'yo? Siguro may kinalaman dun sa sinabi ko sa'yo, saan ka ba nakatingin? Kasi one thing that I have learned is never compare your success with others. Hindi komot, yun yung success niya, kailangan yun ka rin. Without you knowing, maybe you already are successful. Huwag mong tingnan, may sarili tayo eh. Saan tayo nakatingin? Ano ang gusto natin maging? Ano ang gusto mong puntahan? Saan ka masaya? Pag narating mo yon, then you already are successful. Kasi monetary ba ang basis mo ng success? Fame? Saan? So sabihin ba natin na yung mga kargador natin sa pier, hindi successful? Yun bang mga karpintero hindi successful? Kung ikukumpara mo sa naabot ng iba, yes, maybe. But to them, baka successful sila. So it's always important knowing saan ka masaya. Maybe hindi mo pa alam or sigurado ko anong gusto mong maging, but alam mo naman sa puso mo saan ka sumasaya eh. Then at least doon, para you can have your little successes. Kasi I know dream big. I like that. Sabi ko nga sa'yo, di ba, nung gusto ko maging number 1, di ko narating. Pero hindi mo ko nakita sa 11 din uli. I was neither there nor the first. I was there somewhere in the first few ranks. And that wasn't bad. One story, isi-share ko na lang, na sinare sa akin ni Direk Olive. Kasi there was a time in my directing life that I thought I wasn't cut for this. Ito yung once a year ako nagkaka-MMK. Wala akong directorial. Lahat ng juniors ko, nakakapag-direct namin sarili ng soap. Ako wala. Nag-AD uli ako. I started to lose hope and dasal ako. Sabi ko, Lord, hindi yata ako para dito. So, nag-decide ako at yung late husband ko na mag-migrate na lang sa New Zealand. Sabi ni Inang sa akin, anak, halika, sabi niya. Never compare your success with others. Sabi niya, trabaho ka lang ng trabaho. Subsob mo sarili mo sa trabaho mo, gawa ka lang ng gawa. Isang araw, pagtingin mo sa harap mo, wala sila doon. Pagtingin mo sa gilid, wala rin sila doon. Paglingon mo, ang layo mo na pala sa kanila. And that's what I did. And true enough, paglingon ko, kailan ko lang to na-realize eh. A few years ago. Oo nga no, yung mga kinaiinggitan ko before, meron silang time to shine nila. Okay lang, hayaan mo lang sila. Trabaho ka lang. One day you will have your own. One day paglingon mo, ang layo na pala ng narating mo. Kasi imbis na katsang ka ng katsang, kaka-compare ng sarili mo sa iba, trabaho ka ng trabaho, di mo alam, umariba ka na pala.
Tawag ko sa idols in my own language. I don't want to become Boy Abunda, but he is my dream marker. I like to introduce that idea of, you like the career of, let's say, Moira. She spent 12, 14 years paying her dues before she hit it, with the first hit. That's my dream marker. It's my mark. Okay, that can happen that way. The first word that comes to mind is listen. Listen to your heart, listen to God, listen to the voices that matter, because the future presents itself in different faces. In my story, they were Tita Conching on the benches of Luneta, my nanay. They came in many faces. So you listen. I'm not saying listen literally with your ears, but listening with your heart and with your eyes, listening with your joy and pain. And the second thing that comes to mind to anyone who's interested, I think lang success really is born out of all the mistakes and the failures that you go through. The best kind of success for me, and this is empirical, is the kind of success that is born out of pain and tears and laughter. So my message, my most important message is pray and do whatever you're doing right now as you listen to me to the best you can, because you're not alone. God is there. Remember that line of Maya Angelou, I come as one, I stand as 10,000, because I'm never alone. You're never alone, Bianca. I'm here in front of you. I stand on the shoulders of Nanay, of my grandparents. I stand on the shoulders of my ancestors. I stand on their shoulders proud and brave, because I know that I am never alone. I come as one, I stand as 10,000. Thank you.
You know, now that I'm, a little older, I think it's the stillness that is important, and really to sort of like for a few moments. I know it's going to be difficult, but just calm down and just remain still, and it'll come to you. And always begin and end and continue in a place of love. Only because if you love something, it will really, really thrive. Consider your career or your path or your life like a plant. Take care of it properly. Don't overwater it. Don't. That's why I love being a plantito, is because there's a lot of truth into it. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself, but remain still, because clarity only comes forth once you're still. Because if you keep on running towards a particular goal, you sometimes forget that that might not be the goal for you.
Okay, sometimes life does not give you all of the answers in a clear-cut way. Sometimes it's muddled and muddy and crazy, and you just have to give yourself the time and the headspace to discern what's happening and figure it out. And figuring things out, it's not a process that you have to end at a certain time. We all have our own individual timelines. We all bloom at different rates. So, if you're not blooming at the same rate as other people, like, don't fret. You are a unique human being. You will bloom when you're supposed to. Listen to the signs from the universe. Sometimes binubulungan ka na, and you just have to be open to listening to what's going on around you. And what I have found in my own experience, and this is something that even my mom and I have this discussion about, when something feels like it's resisting, like if I'm pushing towards something and it resists, like it pushes me back, it's like, maybe I shouldn't be pushing so hard. It's not a physical push, it's just one of those things. That push of going towards a certain goal or a certain ambition or a project. And sometimes I'll get a lot of resistance for whatever reason. And then I'll start thinking, baka hindi to. Maybe this is not where I'm supposed to go. And then sometimes things are like bam, 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 bam. It's like lined with angels and with trumpets and well lit, and it's a rainbow thing. And I'm like, okay, that was easy. Sometimes the path of least resistance is where I'm supposed to go. So what I'm finding still in my life is like when there's really not a whole lot of resistance, maybe that's the path I'm supposed to follow. Because even if we go back to Miss Saigon, it's like I audition, a couple of weeks later I get the job na. It's like, ang bilis! So I just have to allow myself the headspace to let my consciousness tune in to the universe, and then I'll be able to figure it out. It takes a willingness to surrender to the will of the universe. If that makes any sense at all.
Don't be impatient with yourself, because even if you are a late bloomer, you will bloom as long as you have an objective in mind. And I'd like to suggest an objective. I'm into love of country because I have seen in my career as a journalist and as a Filipino, truly this country is worth giving it our best, whatever it is. In all the stories that we have done on Probe, there is one conclusion that I have come to. The Filipinos are exceptional in many ways, really exceptional. And we have come across many of them who have sacrificed, who have given of themselves to make this country a better place to live and to be a part of. Love of country is such a big concept, and many people will say, love of country. How can you love your country? In small ways and big ways. In small ways, by being a citizen that cares about this country. The first thing is, please vote next year, because it is your chance to make your stand known. What do you stand for? Anong paninindigan mo sa buhay? What do you want for this country? All of the other countries around us have moved forward. And I personally think that the Filipino is excellent over and above all of those who have moved ahead of us. Funny as it may seem, that is my staunch belief. And that you have to begin by appreciating the country that you were born into. I've seen it in pockets all over, in the stories that we do, in the people that we meet, and in people like you, in young people like you, Bianca. The hope is there. And we must never lose hope. You know why? It's the only country we have. And as a last point, we all, even if we do have different walks of life, different careers, different profiles, we all share one thing, and that's the Filipino name, Filipino.